your host, Larry Fedoruk, on News Talk 610 CKTB.
Best-selling author and speaker Jane Blaufus wrote an article for the Huffington Post recently and often speaks on the topic of helping families know what they should have prepared in advance if a sudden tragedy or perhaps a sudden illness should strike. Joining us to talk about that, Jane Blaufus. Hello, Jane.
Hello, Larry. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
This is often a topic I'm sure people rolling their eyes and go, no, I don't want to think about that or deal with that. You must come up against that a lot.
Yes, and if you ever want to clear a party, don't yell fire, just bring the subject up.
Oh.
Everybody goes home.
Yet how important is this? I mean, very, very important to have your affairs in order, should we say?
Well, it is, and my heart goes out to Rob and his family and to everybody who's dealing with something like this, because he is unfortunately not the only person out there. But, there's no 6-second hotline to heaven, and unfortunately critical illness does not come with a calling card. So these are conversations and things we must have with our loved ones and get the appropriate plans in place before something happens and not after.
Now, how do we even begin? Do we begin with the conversation, or do I call a lawyer? What's my first thing? Your
first conversation is with yourself, Larry, and then it's a conversation with your family, because you yourself have to know what you want in order to be able to share and articulate your wishes with your family. So it really starts deep inside each and every one of us, first and foremost.
So, okay, let's say I've done that. I've done a lot of soul searching, and I've managed to put some things together. Next, I discussed this with my family. I've often heard this. It's like, it's fine that it exists on a piece of paper somewhere, but you got to tell your family what you want.
You have to, because if they don't know what you want, where the documentation is, how to find it, when something happens, we're all running around like a chicken with our heads cut off. So that's the last time in your life you want to be trying to search for this stuff. So you've got to share it with people. Don't keep it a secret.
Okay, so I want to be cremated, I should tell people. If I want to donate my organs, I should tell people.
Yes, and you should have it documented and logically laid out somewhere. In my book, I offer people a 30-page roadmap at the end of the book to answer your question about, do you go family first or lawyer next? The one thing I know from experience, 25 plus years in the financial services industry, people are scared to talk about this, but once you get them going, you can't get them to stop. But the thing I always hear is, where do I start? What do I do? What order do I do it in? So I've put some tools in place to help people with that, to make it easy and, accessible to them. It's a way for them to put it all in one place, get it out of their head so they can pay attention to the most important thing, and that's taking care of their loved ones and themselves.
Isn't this interesting? Because I'm probably one of those that would shy away from the topic, yet I love order. So if I let that love of order trump my fear of talking about the inevitable, that's probably a good thing for me. It's a
a legacy of love.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's a calm knowing that should something happen, everything's in order here.
Well, yes, because that's when you need it the most. What I envision is people being able to go to a bookshelf, pull out a binder that has every single bit of information in there that you need, and then you either hand it to the executor or the loved ones go, okay, I know where power of attorney is for medical and financial. I know there's an up-to-date will. I know where everything is. It puts people in control at a time in their lives when they need it the most.
And family members when they need it the most, too, because they're probably feeling, if something's bad happening, they're probably feeling a little confused and anxious as well.
Yes. I lost my first husband in an accident when he was 39, and I couldn't decide if I wanted peas or carrots for dinner when my mother asked me after he was gone. So if I can't even make decisions about a vegetable, how does somebody make decisions about the most monumental, financial or medical decisions they might ever have to make on behalf of themselves or a loved one?
Now, and I don't know if you want to address this or not, but can I go to the drugstore and get a kit, or are you saying I should have actual legal representation, official people involved in all of this?
One of my mottos is you prepare now or you pay later. Go and seek out the professionals that you need to deal with. And in my mind, some of the most important are you need a financial advisor in your corner. You need a lawyer where you've drawn up an up-to-date will. You need an accountant who knows that your tax situation is in place, and talk to people about your funeral wishes. Go talk to a funeral prearrangement specialist. Get all this stuff done when you're calm and you can talk rationally about it, and emotions are not part of the picture.
You know, and I would add to that beforehand, you know, talk to a friend about it. Maybe, again, tough, as you said, you know, clear the room in a party. But if you approach somebody on this, have open conversation about what would you do? I'm thinking about this, you know, just keep the dialogue going.
Well, you know, there's safety in numbers. You don't feel like you're the only person talking about this. And actually, you might find, that's a very good suggestion, Larry. You might find somebody else might have a suggestion of something they might have gone through. So, you know, let's just get this conversation going. This is what I'm on a mission to do, is to get people talking about this before it's too late. Don't do it after, do it before.
Now, the situation, I guess maybe this is what power of attorney means, could happen too, where you're incapacitated, unable to make decisions, say, you know, keeping the bills paid and stuff while you're lying in a coma or something. That's part of it, right? Power of attorney?
Exactly.
Right,
and look at all of this has been thrust into the forefront of our consciousness this year with everything that's happened with so many different celebrities. Thankfully, Rob's in a position where he can express his wishes. Some people are not. So yes, you need to do it while you still have a voice, and it's your voice making decisions.
All right. Well, I hope people are hearing this. I mean, really hearing the message and taking it to heart. Now, your book, With the Stroke of a Pen?
Yes, With the Stroke of a Pen, Claim Your Life, and the companion binder that goes with it.
I wanted to ask about that companion. So this is the binder that's going to be in my bookshelf that everybody knows where to go, right?
Exactly. And you know what? It is the easiest and most comprehensive planning tool available today, and it lays it out in the KISS principle. Keep it simple.
Right. And I know it's available through your website as well as where else? Or just through the website?
Yeah, just through the website.
Okay.
It's Jane Blaufus, BLAUFUS.com.
All right. And, but when I saw the binder comes with, I was like, okay, that's smart, because that's, I could start with that as my planning tool, the book and the binder. So,
well, the roadmap, the 30-page roadmap in the book is where you start. But the thing I kept hearing from people is, I don't know how to arrange all of this stuff. What do I do? So hence the second piece. That's the piece that puts everything, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and puts it on your bookshelf when it's needed most. Right.
And start talking about it even before then. Good idea. Jane, thank you so much.
Larry, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I love your show.
Thank you. Jane Blaufus, Blaufus, and janeblaufus.com, where the book is With the Stroke of a Pen and companion binder on how to control your money, your financial future. As they say, have your estate in order, have everything in order in the event of.